Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a look into the law of attraction, specifically how one video guide suggests you can use it to attract a specific person. We've got the transcript here, it lays out a whole step-by-step thing.
Right.
And our plan isn't just to list the steps, but to really, explore the ideas behind them, see what logic they're using.
Exactly. Think of it as sort of an intellectual unpacking. We're not really here to judge if it works, are we?
No, not at all.
It's more about understanding the thinking behind it, the proposed mechanics, how it's supposed to work, and maybe how that connects to, well, things we already understand about people. Motivation, maybe.
Okay, so the video, it jumps right in. Big promise. You can attract that specific someone.
A powerful hook.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it frames it as like intentionally designing your love life. Here's the method. What grabbed me straight away was that idea, influencing something so personal.
That promise of control is a huge draw, isn't it?
Yeah.
And interestingly, the video sort of anticipates the big question. What about free will?
Yeah, the obvious one.
Right. And their answer is, well, it's not about forcing anyone. It's about aligning your energy. The idea seems to be that if a connection is, meant to be, then this alignment just helps it unfold naturally, like you're opening a door, maybe not kicking it down.
That's quite a clever way to handle that free will problem, isn't it?
It is.
It lets you feel like you're doing something active, but still acknowledges that, well, people choose and sometimes things just feel right or not, like setting the stage, but the actors still have their own lines.
Precisely. It gives you that sense of agency, but within a framework that still respects the messy, unpredictable nature of relationships. And this focus on deliberately creating what you want. That's a theme you see a lot in law of attraction stuff.
Okay, let's get into the first step then. Clarity and detachment. The video says you need to really dig deep, understand why you want this person, beyond just, looks or something superficial. Then comes the tricky bit, I think. Letting go of the outcome. Avoiding obsessive thoughts.
Yeah, that detachment part. What's interesting is the recognition that clinging too tight can actually backfire.
Right.
Psychologically, we kind of know this, don't we? If you're too invested, it creates anxiety, maybe makes you act weirdly.
Pushes them away, like trying too hard to catch something delicate.
Exactly like that. And the advice to focus on the feeling of being loved, even without that specific person. That points towards something broader, like building your own inner well-being first, not just chasing external validation.
That makes sense. It's like they're saying sort yourself out emotionally first, then see what happens. They even use an image, releasing a balloon to picture letting go of that, like tight grip.
Yeah, it's a good visual. It captures that idea that sometimes releasing that intense focus on one thing actually opens up space for other possibilities, things you might not have seen if you were just staring straight ahead. It's subtle, but potentially quite powerful.
Okay, step 2. This moves into visualization, embodying the relationship. So really sinking into the feeling of being with the person, thinking about sensory stuff, touch, their voice, just being near them. They call it creating a mental movie.
Right, the mental movie.
And suggest doing it before sleep. This sounds a bit more involved than just, idle daydreaming.
Well, visualization itself, it's pretty established technique, isn't it, in sports, personal development.
True.
By really vividly imagining something, and crucially, feeling the emotions that go with it, you can sort of strengthen the mental pathways associated with it. And doing it before sleep, that taps into the idea that our subconscious keeps working on things, potentially shaping our mindset, maybe even our actions later.
It's like practicing a future you want in your head.
Kind of, yeah.
Repeating this positive scenario makes it feel more real, maybe more possible in your own mind.
Exactly. And in the law of attraction view, that emotional engagement is key. It's seen as sending out a strong, energetic signal, which is maybe a metaphor for just aligning your internal state with what you want to experience.
Right. Okay. Step 3 is affirmations and self-concept. The idea here is basically what you believe inside shows up outside.
Your outer world reflects your inner world.
Yeah. So if you think, oh, they're out of my league, then supposedly that's what you'll get. They give examples like, I am irresistibly magnetic, or even name is deeply in love with me. You're meant to really believe these.
This part connects to things like positive self-talk, self-efficacy, believing you can actually achieve something, challenging those negative thoughts, building a better self-image that can definitely affect your confidence, how you interact with people. The affirmations are designed specifically to fight those limiting beliefs, make you feel worthy, attractive.
It's interesting, though, that they stress believing them before you see any proof. That feels like a big ask.
It does.
Like, act as if it's already true.
It's a definite shift in perspective. The thinking is that unwavering belief changes your internal vibration, for lack of a better word. And that, according to the theory, is what pulls the desired outcome towards you. It flips the usual cause and effect, where we normally need proof before we believe.
Okay, step 4 brings in inspired action. So it's not just sitting on the sofa visualizing.
Definitely not passive.
It's about noticing intuitive nudges, like maybe a sudden feeling you should send a text and then acting on it. But with confidence, not like desperation.
Exactly. Most law of attraction teachers do emphasize action, but the key word is inspired. It should feel aligned, right? Coming from that place of confidence you've been building, not from neediness.
Because acting desperate usually backfires.
Almost always. It creates a kind of negative feedback loop in how people respond to you.
So be proactive,
Yeah.
but trust that the actions are sort of guided. A mix of your intention and just following what feels like the right next move.
That's a good way to put it. Being open to chances and acting in a way that lines up with the reality you're trying to create internally.
And finally, step 5, let go and trust the universe. This sounds like releasing that control again, especially over the how and the when.
The specifics?
The video suggests, maybe the universe brings this person back unexpectedly, or maybe it brings someone even better. The main thing is to stay happy, live your life, and trust it's all working out.
This step really tackles the anxiety that can pop up when you're actively trying to make something happen. Letting go is often framed as reducing resistance, allowing things to unfold more naturally. And that suggestion of someone even better, it broadens the perspective, encourages optimism, keeps you open.
Yeah, it keeps you from getting totally fixated on just that one outcome with that one person.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, you planted the seed, now stop digging it up every 5 minutes to see if it's growing. Just trust the process.
That's a perfect analogy. It's
Yeah.
about holding on to that positive feeling, trusting your desires are heard or are in motion, even if you can't see the exact path yet.
So recapping, we had clarity and detachment, then visualizing and embodying it, affirmations and self-concept work, taking inspired action, and finally letting go and trusting. It's quite a structured approach laid out here.
It is, and it touches on several interesting psychological ideas, even if framed within this specific law of attraction context. Things like self-awareness, positive thinking, mental practice, taking action, those are all things that can fuel personal growth and, potentially change how we interact with others.
Which leads to a final thought. Given all these principles, especially how much focus there is on self-love, on your internal state, what does that really suggest about attraction itself? Forgetting the specific person for a second.
That's a really great question to end on, because it is striking, isn't it? Even though the goal is supposedly attracting one specific person, so much of the actual work is internal. Your clarity, your feelings, your beliefs about yourself. It really makes you wonder, maybe the most powerful thing in attracting anyone, maybe even that specific person, is actually just cultivating your own sense of worth, your own happiness, being authentic. Perhaps the attraction isn't some weird external force bending someone else's will.
But more like
The natural result of you just radiating positive qualities that other people genuinely find appealing. It makes you think maybe the focus on the specific person is almost like a useful hook, a catalyst,
Right.
to get you to do the self-work that makes you more magnetic in general.